Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Glad you're here. Welcome back to the Red Mic. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: be the first one off the bus, lead by example. Nolan Ryan is a great example of leading by example. He wasn't loud, he wasn't overtly demonstrative or anything, but he was always leading by example. He did his job, he did it the best of his ability, but after games, reporters would often end up talking to him while he was on an exercise bike doing miles after he had just thrown, pushing 100-mile fastballs to players that weren't even alive when he started his career. That's leading by example. That's putting in the extra work necessary to keep playing that long. It's like running stairs after a game, too. You know, rookies had already hit the shower and were figuring out, okay, where are we going to go eat? Where are we going to go chase some young baseball fan hotties? What are we going to do after the game? And Nolan Ryan, he was still working out. He was still putting in the hard work necessary to make sure that he could keep throwing those heaters well into his 40s like he did. Brett Favre, he was the Iron Man of the NFL. He started 297 games in a row at quarterback and took a ton of punishment. But he was a leader. He led by example. He showed everybody, yeah, you're going to knock me down, but you're not going to knock me out until finally, the NFL catches up with anybody. It's a brutal game. Cal Ripken Jr. There's no better example. He, what, 2,600, 20, I think the actual number is like 2,632 starts where he started the game. He played Iron Man. The only person that had gone anywhere close to that far was Lou Gehrig, and Cal Ripken beat that record. All three of these guys have in common they show that mental toughness, that willingness to go the extra mile without demanding the same from everybody around them. They lead by example. They showed, okay, this is what I'm willing to put in. Maybe you'll have a little bit of that rub off on you. They didn't expect anybody to do exactly what they did. Again, they just led by example. It's it's the same in any workplace. It's not your job title, your parking spot, your email signature, none of that. It's how you show up physically, mentally, ready to do the job, showing everybody on your team, here I am, you're going to get my best every day. And you do it without really expecting any reward. You do it because it's the job. You pick up the slack before really anybody notices that there was some slack to be picked up. Yes, we've all heard the term lead by example, but it means being the one that volunteers for the hard stuff, crunching that budget where there's probably tons of bad answers in those numbers, picking up the project that nobody wants to do. They call it eating the frog sometimes. Doing the doing the things that aren't fun, but they've still got to get done. having the tough conversations, getting there early, maybe staying late, being prepared every time you step up to do anything, being ready, staying calm when other people are panicking, having optimism when other people might be scared or sullen or they might be sulking or pouting or something. The extra hours aren't just for show. Um, it's about owning your space, showing people that effort matters. Now, take care of yourself. You don't want burnout, but you have to look at that responsibility as a privilege, not a burden. Just go out there and do it. If you're the first person off the bus, people are going to notice. They may not applaud. Some may think that you're brown nosing or something, but ultimately, you keep leading by example. People are gonna they're gonna notice. They're gonna start picking up their own pace. I think before long, it's gonna snowball throughout your organization, and that's where you're gonna find the big policy changes, not in the policy memos or mission statements, but in those little small moments where someone they grab the broom instead of stepping over the mess. They speak up instead of checking out. They lead without a title, without permission, without ego. They just step up. So whether you're managing a department, running a shift, trying to be somebody that others can count on, lead with your attitude, lead with your feet. Be that first person off the bus. Be willing to jump on that bike and keep putting in the work while everybody else has already hit the showers. That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you're able to put it in place in your own life, your own workplace, wherever you do. I appreciate you so much. I'm glad you're here. I hope to see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. See you tomorrow.